Hello guys, Alex here, and in this video I will talk about interest in English, because your success in English depends on your interest in English. И в этом видео я поговорю о вашем интересе, который вы должны проявлять для того, чтобы развить ваши навыки в английском языке. И я постараюсь говорить все на английском, так как я уже говорил в своих предыдущих видео, что я хочу развивать свою способность говорить на английском языке. И мне чаще и чаще хочется говорить на английском языке, но есть какие-то свои домашние дела, есть какие-то проблемы там, нужно решать на работе и так далее. И вот это видео я решил сделать сделаю его полностью на английском и постараюсь обсудить, как же поддерживать ваш интерес в английском языке. Конечно, это видео не будет полезно для тех, кто уже, скажем так, кто еще не владеет английским в достаточной степени, чтобы понять меня, да, когда я говорю на английском языке, но уже будет более-менее полезно для тех людей, которые уже приближаются к среднему уровню, и для них будет полегче. Поэтому все, кто меня не поймет, не обижайтесь, посмотрите мои другие видео, там я в достаточной мере говорю на русском языке, и примерно общую идею вы поймете из других видео. Здесь как бы я обобщу и поговорю как я поддерживаю интерес в английском языке. Поэтому, если вы не понимаете английского, ничего в этом плохого нет, страшного нету. А для тех, кто понимает английский, послушайте минут 5, потом просто выключите видео, если не будет интересно. В большей степени я постараюсь сделать это как свой журнал, чтобы потом просмотреть свой прогресс в английском языке. Ну и, конечно, мне в какой-то мере интересно сделать это видео, и я пользуюсь этим случаем, чтобы развить свой интерес. Я уже сказал, что как поддерживать свой интерес в изучении английского языка. Вот такая небольшая часть — это сделать свой видеоблог, где ты можешь общаться, может быть, со своими подписчиками, с людьми сам с собой, да, на английском языке. И я считаю, это очень хорошая возможность улучшить ваш английский язык. Поэтому поехали. Сейчас я переключаюсь на английский язык и поговорим о развитии, поддержании вашего интереса в английском языке. Okay, guys, let's start. How to maintain your interest in English. You know, it's a very difficult thing to maintain your interest, because in real life, in my everyday life, everything is related to Russian language, and it's difficult to maintain my English. I don't speak in English with people at my job. I don't speak with my relatives, my friends, my colleagues, and you know, it's difficult, very, very difficult to maintain my English language, and it's more difficult for me to move forward to achieve a higher level of English. And as you can see, I try to speak more with as I see it, with accent. I try to reduce Russian accent from my speech, and you know, I can sometimes, very often I speak in English. I speak in English with Russian accent, and right now I try to make my English sounds more like a native speaker. But of course, people will see that I'm not a native speaker, because you know, some people who live in abroad, in United States, in Great Britain, when they hear me, they can say, Russian people who moved some years ago to United States, they can say that I'm Russian, because they can I think they have maybe several years ago, maybe several decades ago, they had the same accent. They say the same sound that I have right now, and in this video I will try to reduce my accent from my speech. Okay, how I maintain my English, my interest in English. You know, I like to figure out how things work. I like to know something new. It's very strange sentence that I said before. I like to know something new. Okay, discover something new. And you know, recently I I found some sites on internet that I can use to buy goods, to buy things from internet, and it's maintain my interest. I don't spend a lot of time. I don't spend a lot of time and money to order something from internet, for example, from United States, and I don't buy very expensive goods, and I buy something that cost about maybe $50, maybe $100, and it keeps me motivated because I can't move, I can't travel to abroad because right now don't have enough money. I have money, but I spend money on other things because I need to buy something that I need for maintaining my life, real life, because it's not first necessity of my life to travel, and it's other question, of course. And as I said, I maintain my interest in English by buying things, not often from United States and from China, and it keeps my interest because recently I bought some devices from China, and I write to seller some sentences in English. And of course it was very little, it was very short sentences, but they keeps my interest. Another thing that I do to maintain my interest in English, I said to myself to post some comments on YouTube. For example, I watch some videos and I force myself to post comment below some videos. I don't like to post some very negative comments. I try to post some neutral comments, but I like to argue with people, maybe about politics, maybe about some achievement. Recently, I read a lot of articles about Sochi Olympic Games, and a lot of foreigners. They said that everything was bought by Russians on that Olympics Games, and I started to argue with people in English, and I know this not. I shouldn't spend my time on this, but I I I wouldn't do it in Russian language, but I want to improve my English, and I shot two birds with one bullet. I I argue with people about some, maybe about Russia, about my point of view about Russia, about Olympics game, and I do it in English language, and it helps me to improve my speaking skills. And you know, if you like to argue about politics, maybe you want to say something, maybe you like politics, uh, You can argue with people from around the world about politics, about religion, and you can be anonymous, and no one will figure out who you are. Of course, if some special service will want to figure out who you are, they will do it. But I don't think that you are a very important person to do that, to spend time and money of services to figure out who you are. Okay, but it's very good way to maintain your English, because it keeps you motivated. And you know, another thing that I recently started to make is I posted my comments, my answers. If people ask me something in English, I try to post my answer in English, because they always can translate it by simply press a button, translate this, and they can read my answer in Russian language. YouTube will do it automatically. YouTube will translate it automatically by on you need only to press some button. That's it. And I decided to post my comments in under my videos in English language. And I want to say, if you want to improve your English, post your comments below in English, and say something pretty simple. Maybe you like my videos. Maybe you agree with something that I try to discuss. Maybe simply you want to improve your English. Try to post a little comments. You know, maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years ago, I was afraid to post comments, because I thought, oh, it's my English isn't good. How I can post comments if people won't understand me at all? And you know, at first I spent a lot of time to simply to write something very simple. But today I see that my writing skills is improving, and I don't force myself. Of course, I force a little myself, but mostly I don't put a lot of um, pressure on me to do that, because if I will put a lot of pressure on me, I can I may I would break. I can break, because if it's very difficult to do something, you can give up. And I force to myself a little to put some comments in English, little by little, and I see that my English is improving. And you know, I don't looking for perfection. I'm looking for something that can to express that helps me to express myself. Even in this video, it's I think it's a little step, very little step in my improving in English, because you know, your success in English consists um, consists a lot of steps, a lot of parts, very little parts, and maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of little parts, little words, sentence, something, activity that you do every day, and little by little you improving your English. It's you know, it sounds like a very common thing that you should work, but you shouldn't only think about, you shouldn't talk about this, you should do this, you should make steps little by little. And that's it, how I keep interest in English. As you can see, you can do it too. And I I use internet. I use internet. I use only internet to improving my English, because everything that I'm interested in, I can find in internet. A lot of information, a lot of goods that I can buy from abroad, and I can buy it from United States. And you think I have another good idea? I can I thought that I can help to my friends to buy something from United States. But of course I will be needed a lot of time, not a lot of time, some time, and I think about that. Maybe because then I try to buy something on the internet, maybe some device, maybe some clothes, apparel, how to say, no, something, boots. I try to read about this good. I try to read comments about reviews about this good in English, and it helps me. It helps me to improve my English little by little, day by day. I'm improving my English and my ability to speak in English, even right now, as I said you before. And guys, I want to offer you something, some exercise. You can make your own video, and you can talk about very simple things, but you don't need to put it on YouTube. You can store it on your personal computer, on your iPhone. Every smartphone today have um, camera. A lot of you have web camera, and you can uh, film yourself on camera and talk about in English. Of course, your English won't be very great, very perfect, very smooth, but do it, and it will help you to improve your English. Okay, thank you for watching, and I think it wasn't a very great video, it wasn't very informational, it wasn't very informational, but you can see in real life, you can look at me and see what I'm doing to improve my English, and you can do like me, and you can do it better. You can Only thing that you should do to improve your English is making something in English. You should be dedicated, and you should be interested in English. Thank you guys, and bye bye. Good night.